Okay, next tutorial. This tutorial is incredibly special to me as in honour of the season 3 release of Fear the Walking Dead, I thought I would do my version of an infected walker. Yay! I hope I did it justice for you guys. I mean, you guys know I love gore makeup, but this is one of those makeups where I feel like I really need to get it right, so I hope I did. I'm sure you guys will let me know in the comments. So Fear the Walking Dead is showing on Mondays at 9 PM on AMC UK. Definitely check it out because season 3 so far looks bloody fantastic. Funny. So if you'd like to learn how to recreate this fleshy walker grossness, stay tuned. So the first step for this look isn't going to be blocking out my eyebrows, it's not going to be popping on a ball cap or blocking out my beard or anything like that. It's going to be something a lot more simple, and that is to apply a prosthetic. So unless I change my mind halfway through this video, which is a strong possibility, I'm only going to be using one prosthetic for this makeup. And that prosthetic is a T1 prosthetic from RBFX, which you can buy at motionpictureeffects.com. I've used these in quite a few videos now, they're amazing prosthetics. They are foam latex and they have super thin edges, so they're super nice to apply. I don't know if you can see that, but they're just really nice edges and really nice to blend. But this is part of a bigger trauma pack, but I thought because I wanted this look to be fairly fresh, I figured one piece would do, and this is a piece that I'm going to put underneath my eye, so it looks like a large chunk of the cheek has been taken out. Beautiful. So to apply this prosthetic, I'm going to be using some PROSTHETIC. It's just a super strong prosthetic adhesive. I just love using it when I do stuff like this because it tends to hold for as long as it needs to. So the idea is I'm going to take a cotton bud, apply it to the back of my prosthetic, give it a few seconds to get tacky, apply it roughly in the area that I want to stick it down to as well, and slowly start sticking it down. I'm going to stick it down first around the eye and the mouth because the rest of this can fade off around my face, but these are the points that really need to match up so I don't overlap over my mouth, and also so that the prosthetic doesn't pucker. So just go super slow, pressing it down to make sure there's no air bubbles, and just make sure that none of the edges overlap, because then you won't get a seamless blend. Okay, so when that's all stuck down and you know it's nice and dry, I'm going to take a new cotton bud and some more PROSTHETIC, and going really slowly I'm going to start applying that all around the edge of this prosthetic. I might go around twice, but by doing that it makes sure that the edges are completely sealed and they blend off into the skin. So again, go really slowly and be super patient with it, because otherwise you might end up with a ridge. Okie dokie, and as predicted, I am actually going to change my mind and have two prosthetics as opposed to the one, just because I just think it needs a bigger impact. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use another prosthetic, but this is part of a free pack. So this piece came with 2 more pieces. This is one of them. I'm not going to use the third piece because that would just be too much. So the idea is I'm going to stick this just on the top of my head and overlap over my eyebrow, just so it looks like this whole side of the face is maybe the aftermath of a large gunshot or something like that, all to this side of the face. I just think it'd look a lot more dramatic. I don't know. So I'm going to apply that in exactly the same way that I did this. Apply PROSTHETIC to the back, stick it down, then go around the edge with some more PROSTHETIC. Then, when all that's dry, I'm going to take some translucent powder and a fluffy fan brush, and I'm just going to lightly brush that over the edges just so it's not as tacky. So once everything's all powdered, I can work on colouring the prosthetic. So for that, I'm going to use an alcohol activated palette. This is a Life Colour palette by Neil Galton, very similar to Skin Illustrator. And this is the enhanced palette. So the idea is to use 99% alcohol and a firm brush, and I'm going to start layering up these colours, starting with the reds, and then I can stipple on different skin tones just until it starts to blend in. The reason I'm using an alcohol activated palette is because it's very translucent and I can layer up these colours over the top of each other just so it looks more natural. I say natural, but you'll get the idea. So just make sure to stipple it in random areas rather than just adding a block colour, otherwise it won't blend in. Okay, so after a few layers it will start blending in. You haven't got to worry too much about this. That's the beauty of doing this type of makeup, because there's going to be a whole lot of splatter involved at the end of this, which will hopefully tie the whole thing together a bit more, but the point is, as long as you've got a good base to work with, we should hopefully have a nice base blend. Then I'm going to switch to a Skin Illustrator Apocalypto palette. I'm going to use this deep red just to colour in the insides of the wounds. So these holes up here, a few of the cracks on top, but most of this giant gaping area here. What a lovely sentence to say. So I'm just going to go really lightly in between each of the cuts. So then, taking the Life Colour palette again, I'm going to use the Burnt Berry from that, which is a really dark purple, and I'm going to use that to go over the red just to make it look even deeper. Then I'm just going to mix some of this yellow, which is the light caramel, in with this colour as well, just to make it look a bit more fleshy and infected. Then, taking the same burnt berry, which is the dark purple, I'm going to take a really fine brush but firm, and I'm going to start doing some vein work, I think. So this is going to be on the majority of the face, I think. I'm going to have all these veins going down the head, around the eyes, and going up from the neck. Just think of them like tree trunks, just going really, really sporadically, and just having some going off of each other, just so it's not one straight line. It's just lots of squiggles, basically. Don't worry about if it's too dark, because afterwards I'm going to go over that just to soften it and give it a layered effect, just to make it look like it's under the skin. Then I'm just going to go over that again with a couple of the lighter tones, same as before, really sporadically, just to break it up in some areas. I haven't gone much over this side of my face just yet because I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I might just concentrate it here, we'll see. Then I'm going to take my Makeup Forever Flash palette, which is some really nice creams. And I'm going to use creams now rather than the alcohol palette because I want to put it quite close to my eye and I just think this is going to be a bit more comfortable. So I'm going to take the brown from that palette and I'm going to take a relatively large fluffy brush, but I'm going to take off most of the colour because I don't want it to be like a block of colour. And I'm going to apply that over my eyelids and underneath my eyes and follow my natural socket line. And I'm going to blend it out, but not completely. It's going to have a fairly abrupt edge, like when you say don't get enough sleep, but imagine that intensified by 10. Then I'm going to take the black from the Flash palette and really not taking much at all. I'm going to take most of the colour off and then just sweep it down the edge of the brown line and then blend it outwards. Then taking an even fluffier brush, I'm going to take the red cream from the palette and again same amount as the black, so not too much. I'm going to dab that underneath both my eyes and on my eyelids. Then I'm going to do a few more veins, but this time using a blue Skin Illustrator colour. And I am going to do a few on this side of my face, but very lightly, just around the cheek area. And I'm also going to do it intertwined with the other veins. Then the fun part, I'm going to take some fake blood. This is Fleet Street fake blood in dark. Some amazing stuff. It's probably one of the posher bloods I've ever got. But I got this from the Pam store, Precious About Makeup. It's really gorgeous blood. And this one is super dark and it's going to look really good, hopefully, in the wounds. So the idea is I'm going to apply that in the entire wound area, not too heavily. I just want it to be a light coating and in the wound area on top. Then, just so the edges don't look too clean, I'm going to take a fairly fluffy brush and it's going to take a tiny bit of the blood and just dab that on the edges around each of the wounds. I'm also going to put a tiny bit of it underneath my eye, just in the corner. And why not under both eyes? Sod it. Then, switching gears a little bit, I'm going to take a Superstar fake blood, which is my go-to blood. I love this stuff because it's a really gorgeous consistency and colour. But the main reason I'm using this one now is because it's slightly wetter than the Fleet Street and it's perfect for spackling blood, which is a fabulous thing to do. So I'm going to take a paintbrush, which is really stiff. Proper load the brush up with loads and loads of blood. I love doing this step. It's always one of my favourite things to do. And now I can spackle the blood all over this side of the face. So it's not going to be like a huge blob of blood because otherwise all the detail would go, but it's going to be enough spackle so it looks random and sporadic and natural. Okay, so I've got most of it on my clothes, but you get the idea. Blood splatter. So very natural movements, blunt force, that kind of thing. I'm also just going to take some of that black cream again and apply it to my lips. Not much of it though, I just want that hint of colour there. Then I'm just going to go and quickly darken up my hair. This is obviously a completely optional step to you guys. I just don't think it looks as threatening with blue hair. So I'm just going to go put some black hairspray in and I'll be right back. Okie dokie, bit more inconspicuous. Probably the wrong choice of word, but you know what I mean. I'm now just going to take some fake blood and just stipple that all the way down this side of my neck because I would imagine there'd be a lot of fallout blood from this. Yeah. I'm also going to do some more of these veins going up this side of the neck, some of them quite thicker than others, but I'm going to use the same blue Skin Illustrator for that. Then then I think it's just a case of popping in some contact lenses, popping on a costume, which to be honest for the costume it doesn't really matter with this kind of thing because this kind of a look would require really regular clothes, just really messy and dirty. But also I kind of want to blend into the background, so I think this top, like when I had blue hair before I sprayed it, is a bit too garish for this look. So I'm just going to go do both those things and we'll see what we've got. And there we go. So I finished the look off, as I said, by popping on a costume, which is just a really old shirt that I've had lying around that I've covered in blood, which to be honest, I think I wore the last time I did this kind of makeup. It just seems to go well with it. I also popped in 2 Sclera contact lenses, which I got from scleraxl.com. I'll pop that link in the description bar below. Hopefully you can tell on camera, but they aren't all black. They're black with red seeping through it as if blood has peered through. I just think it completes the look. So yeah, that's my Fear the Walking Dead makeup tutorial. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I really had fun doing it. I mean, to be honest, whenever I do this type of makeup, or to be honest, whenever there's fake blood, I'm just in my comfort zone, so that makes me happy. Whenever I watch Fear the Walking Dead, I always get inspired to do this type of makeup, so having the opportunity to do it to coincide with season 3 was just too good an opportunity to miss. Plus, to be honest, I don't think I've ever done a makeup where I stay as myself in character, if that makes sense. Usually I'm a completely different person, like a ball cap or something like that, or a fake nose. This time I get to see what I would look like if I was inserted into the show as myself, minus the blue hair, and I think that's cool. It's interesting. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. If you like it, please make sure to, you know the usual, rate, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz, because you have no idea how much that helps me out. Remember to check out season 3 of Fear the Walking Dead on AMC UK. Remember, Mondays at 9 PM. Bring popcorn. Or flesh. Wherever floats your boat. Why did I say that? And yeah, so until next time, bye guys.